Hi and welcome to Terry Travels and welcome to a very cold Seaholme station. We're on the next part of my walk from Werribee to Melbourne, Naarm. And it is bloody cold. It is 3 degrees. Hopefully it'll warm up on my way to Newport. This is the longest walk I'm going to do on this journey. It's about 7 kilometres. And I know I'm backlit, but I can't help that. Let's put you on the front. Hopefully that'll work better. There we go. So yeah, we're going to go along the waterfront. We're going to go along Cororoy Creek Trail. And I'm a bit pissed off because my new gloves, one of the fingers have come out. So I've got to keep tucking my finger into my glove. Cheap gloves are not always a bargain. So here we are walking alongside the station. We're going to turn right down here and head down to the waterfront. And along the waterfront near the boat ramps and across there and get things going. Oh, and now there's a breeze, which I don't need because it is bloody cold, and I'm going to stop whinging right now. How is everybody? I'm doing fine apart from being cold. Oh, that's better. I'm in the sunshine now. I'm getting a little bit of solar radiation, which is good. As you can see, much nicer houses around here at Seaholme as we head towards the waterfront because rich people want a water view. Yeah. So this is going to be one of the most interesting visually walks along here. So I've got to remember to take the photos. If people who've been following along will know. Let's have a look at this. Not bad. Probably not cheap either. But if you're interested, buy it. Yeah, so so on these walks, I'm supposed to take 5 street view photographs to put at the end of the video. And I've been a little slack, to be really honest with you, in doing so. All my fault. Blame it on the lack of oxygen. But yeah, it's my fault. Interesting. Wall decorations there. So we're going to cut across to the trail path along the waterfront now, crossing Beach Road, and I've memorised the street names here. I'll just let this cyclist go past. The tide's out at the moment, and there's a siren going there for some reason. Okay, let's cross the road, cross the park, and go along the waterfront. So this is the first point on this walk where I've really reached the bay. I'm not going to be going along it for most of the walk. We're going to cut inland once we get around Cororoy Creek. But, and hopefully this grass isn't going to wet my shoes too much, because that would be a bad thing. So there you go, Hobson's Bay, Port Phillip Bay. I've actually made it. Interestingly, for me at least, I drove to Seaholme, and I'm going to take the train back to Seaholme once I've done this walk. So I'll walk to Seaholme. Sorry, I drove to Seaholme. Not enough coffee. I drove to Seaholme, and it just occurred to me how far I've walked so far. It felt like a long way. It really felt like I'd already achieved something by walking as far as I have. But there's a way to go. And that is the next part of the story. I've got 2 bottles of water in my new backpack, which hopefully will survive better than the gloves. And everything I need for the walk. Now I've got a plan B. This is a very long walk for me. So, plan B, if I don't feel at a certain point I can reach Newport, I can actually take an alternate route and reach North Williamstown station, which is slightly shorter. So that's plan B. I'm going to divert here because here is a little pier into the bay. I'm going to walk along it. Cressida Street Jetty. Swimming not advised. Submerged objects, shallow water and currents. So let's go along here. There we go, there's the thumbnail. And down here, you may see some Australian black swans because they're right off the end of the jetty. Over there, I will get some photos of them with my phone, but that just shows you how shallow the water is here at the moment with low tide. And if you look over there, city of Melbourne in the sun glare. So I'm going to pause the camera right now and take my photos, and I'll be back. Okay, the photos are done, so let's walk back down the pier and get on the road again. My fingers come out of that glove again, so hopefully that's not going to happen all the time. That's my rude pointing finger as well. I don't want that to get hurt. Sorry, we're walking right into the sun, but that's the way we're going. One nice thing is with all of these big bushy tree things here, it blocks out the breeze a little bit, which is welcome because that breeze is cold. Oops, going to pause here and I'll tell you why after I do. That's better. I've got my earbuds in and I've started the walk meter on my phone, on my watch, sorry. And that finger glove keeps coming out. But here we are, back on the road again, heading down toward the boat slips here at Altona. Are we still in Altona? We're in Seaholme and heading toward Corraway Creek. So let's see how we go. Gonna have to come down here when the weather's better, I think. Summertime, this is going to be a cool place to just chill. There's a little breakwater there, which is just before we hit the boat ramps. Little beach, not much of a beach, but a little beach. I think that may be for putting boats into the water. Not sure. And we've got a sign. Let's look at the sign. Usual regulations and things. And we're coming to the first little bridge over a culvert heading into the bay. And there's a level crossing way up the end there. There's the water trickling past the seaweed into the bay. Just saw a couple of ducks flying overhead, which is kind of cool. And here we are at the boat ramps. Not many people out on their boats this morning because, like I said, it's bloody cold. This feels a lot different from the previous walks because I'm along the waterfront. There was somebody calling their dog. Another little bridge which goes over Cherry Creek, which leads up to Cherry Lake, up that way, which is up near Altona. Here we go, just to scare the people from overseas. And we've got some black swans down here. Here's one down there. They're native around here. There's really rich bird life in this area. There's the other side of the creek. To be honest, we're not likely to see snakes. They're exothermic, and in this kind of weather, they're all wound up in their little holes. It's a little too cold for them. It's a little too cold for me, come to think of it, but there you go. Up ahead, you've got a little bit of a beach and people walking out on the tidal flats. And again, of course, we're walking into the sun, but that's the nature of things. I didn't want to leave this till later in the day. Let's see what this says. Altona Safe Harbour Dredging. They're dredging out the harbour for the boats. There's a bit of a map. We are here, and we're going basically up there to the top of the map eventually. Here we go. Williamstown Beach is 3.7 kilometres. I don't think that's right. Another big bridge coming up. There's a path down to the beach, which looks very cool. But we're not going there. Can I balance that on there? No, I can't. Just be a sec. Here we go. Taking the gloves off. Oh, they were getting a bit annoying with that finger thing. As this picture will tell you up here, we do get pelicans as well over here. And you've got the water there and parkland over there. Yep, we're going to go through the dog park. Hello.
Billy, come on. Here.
It's all good. An encounter with carnivores. Now, which way do I go? Let's see what this sign says. Maintenance vehicles. No. Got to double back here because I think I know where I'm going. I always say that. And sometimes I'm right. I've got to say the dog owners have picked up the dog shit pretty well. Okay, here's the exit to the wildlife park. We're going to walk up to the main trail up here. By the way, if you want to hear what I'm listening to on my earbuds, Patreon supporters get a link to my Spotify playlist for this. There's some deeply weird shit, which I enjoy. I'm going to get off this gravel and walk on the main footpath again. It's a little easier on the feet. By the way, in case you're wondering, there are the kinds of shoes I wear for these walks. Here we go, we've got another sign over here. Marine nurseries, mangroves and mudflats. We got tiger snake, white lip snakes, and little whip snakes. Tiger snakes are poisonous, but like I said, they're not going to be around. And here's my favourite, the rakalli, the Australian water rat. And if you want to double down on the snake thing, there's a snake symbol on the top of the pole. So, you know, a little bit of environmental stuff there. But let's keep moving. I can tell I'm getting thirsty because I smack my lips when I'm thirsty like this. And it's a family trait. My mum did it as well, back in the day. Now, for all of you train buffs, the train track's just across the road there. So, in a roundabout way, we have been following the train track, which is good. We may see a train go over, if we're a bit lucky. And over there is a pedestrian crossing across the railway tracks. But if you look over this way, all these wetlands here, once upon a time in the previous century, very early in the previous century, was the local race course. They had horse racing there. There are still a few grandstand ruins over there. They couldn't knock down all the concrete. In case you're wondering, that breeze is cold, but I thought I'd stop whinging about it. By the way, these little plants down here are what they call pig faces because they flower, and their flowers look a little bit like pig faces. There are a whole bunch of different species of them which are native to the area, particularly in swampy, damp places. But the fact that there are a lot of them around here is a good sign about the ecological health of the area. Fortunately, while we cross and after we cross the next bridge, we're turning away from the sun. We're going to head south for a little bit, which would be good because I didn't bring my sunglasses again. From here on, it's going to be less of a problem. After this walk, we're going to do a lot less squinting. That little bridge through there didn't used to be there. It used to be a weir across the creek, Corroy Creek, and it flooded a lot, and people would line up to watch cars go through the weir and see whether they got through successfully when it was flooded. But they've made a bridge now, which takes all the fun out of it. Foreshore Trail. So I'm going to take a break and have a drink, and we'll get back on the road. Here we go. Across the bridge that didn't used to be here. And there is Corroy Creek. And there's the other side of it. This bridge is less than 2 months old. And so is that bridge. You're going to see a lot more of that from the other side because we're going along the other bank of the river. And all of that industrial stuff up there is the old oil refineries. I know it looks like a set from Hell Comes to Frogtown, but it's not, and the train lines go right past it. But you and I aren't. We're cutting over to the right. Okay, back on the trail. There's the view where we were, and we're going up river, actually down river, accompanied by graffiti. Didn't know the creek got this wide. It's quite impressive because all the Corroy Creek I know is further upriver, whereas the skinny little ditch. But here it's not. It's something entirely different. I'm going to sit here for a moment just to enjoy the wildlife and catch my breath a little bit. How far have we done? About 4 kilometres, maybe. I'm actually sitting on a pipe, which I think used to carry petrochemicals between different refinery plants, but doesn't anymore. It's solid, but it's not moving. I wonder if I get a shot, hang on. Yep, lots of cyclists along here, so I've got to be a bit careful because I don't think many people walk this. Lots more bird life on the creek. Not many walks, but there are joggers along here. If you look over here across the creek, and I'll see if I can zoom, see the concrete over there? You can just see behind the trees, it's got graffiti all over it. That's part of the grandstand from the old race course where the horse racing took place. They didn't bother knocking it all down, but it's all down there in the middle of the mud. We're really hitting the mangroves at the moment, which is good because they do clean the water. Fishermen down there too. So there must be fish. Wouldn't want to be here in the evening though, because mosquitoes that kill you, suck you dry like beef jerky. And here are some big oil storage tanks on the other side. Trespassers strictly prohibited. Nice couple just walked past. I let them pass so that they're not cramped by me stopping and recording, because I'm a nice guy, or at least I tell myself that. And there we go. Mangroves are getting taller too. So we'll say goodbye to the oil storage tanks and move along. There we go. Mangroves on the other side now too. You see their roots at the base of them sticking out of the water. I think there's a little boat ramp here too. Kids playing soccer over there, or football if you're a pedant. Here we are. We've reached a landmark. The Cororoy Creek Boat and Angling Club, established in 1948. Cool. Let's keep moving. What gets me is these little shacks. I don't know whether people live in them full time or they're just for the weekend. They're what we call weekenders. But, geez, they've got access to the river. And they're kind of cool. They've got letterboxes, so people are living in them. It's so cool. I need one for a podcasting studio. There wouldn't be anything cooler. Talk about movies, talk about travel, and fish off your back porch. These are the kind of liminal interstitial places in Melbourne that your usual travel vloggers aren't going to show you because they don't know about them. They're very cool. And unless you go off the main roads, you simply won't find them. I love these, like I love the ones down at Campbell Cove. I'll do a video down at Campbell Cove and show you those one day. I've done one on the other channel, but I think I should do a dedicated one for this channel. Now this is odd. I'll take you around near that sign, get a few more steps in. The Brunswick City Anglers Club. Brunswick is about 10 kilometres away inland, but they've got their own Anglers Club. And I'm going to take you down here for a special reason. And I hope you're going to like this, because I do. I'm not showing you yet. So you've got all of that. there. And down here, we have a whole bunch of pelicans at the mouth of Cororoy Creek. I think that's worth a photo, so I'm going to pause and take a photo. Love that. And I love this rickety old wharf that's seen very much better days. This is worth the walk, I tell you. This is one of the highlights for me so far. Let's get back into it. There's more to do. I think we've only come about halfway, which scares the fuck out of me. Just saw a couple of kids who were geocaching around here, which is kind of cool. They asked me what I was doing. I told them, I'm not going down that way. I'm going this way. Because at the traffic lights up the end here is my decision point. It's my point of no return, to quote Jean McDaniel. Do I go right to North Williamstown Station, or do I go straight ahead and continue on to Newport as per the original plan? So I'm going to stop and have a drink up at the traffic lights, and I will tell you what my decision is. I'm actually not feeling bad, which surprises the shit out of me, but there we are. I will now speed ramp to those lights. There's a McDonald's just down there, by the way, but I'm not going there. I'm going to be a good boy today. I might have to center this gimbal because it seems to be wandering a bit. I think that's better. Let me just play with the camera. That might be it. Fire engine. Here we go, decision time. Am I going to go that way over there, but the opposite of where I'm pointing? Or am I going to go east toward the railway line, which eventually leads to Newport? You probably figured out I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and head to Newport. So this way it is, not that way. There's an antique place over there, but I'm not stopping there. So we'll press the button and keep going. Hopefully there's not going to be too much traffic noise. There is a little bit as we're crossing Cororoy Creek Road here. But after that we should be fairly quiet all the way to Newport, with a little bit of luck. There is an op shop down there, but I'm not going there. So I'm not actually technically passing it. You know the rule is I've always got to go to an op shop if I pass it on this trip. But I'm not passing it, so it doesn't quite count. So for a kilometre or two we're going to be going through an industrial area, then we're going to be back in the suburbs. And I'm going to chuck a right when we are, after we cross the railway tracks. And it's a straight line with a bit of a curve all the way to Newport. Here we go. Hello, buddy. Got another raven up there. They're following me. It's interesting because over here they have a funeral director next to a climbing place where you can do rock climbing, and a personal body training studio over there. You got everything for every eventuality. Okay, that's tempting me over there. There's a sign that says drive-through coffee. but I'm gonna hold on. And we're just gonna cross another waterway here, which is concrete. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's got a cute name. And that leads, of course, down to the bay. There's even a random little mangrove down there, clinging to the side of the concrete, which is cool. Nature will have its way. Hobson's Bay's premier one-to-one personal training studio. Transform your body, change your life. That's what I'm fucking doing. I'm getting a bit sweary. I don't mind, but I am. And YouTube doesn't mind as long as it's not in the first couple of minutes of a video. We're well into the video. So, I'm gonna fucking swear. Anybody want a pallet? Now here's the dilemma. Now once I get to the other side of the railway tracks there, I'm in the clear. So what I'm going to do is see what's happening and see whether I can sneak through. It's the weekend, I might be able to. There's some workers up ahead. So I might have to detour, which is not what I want. And there are two dogs guarding a place here. Ugly little inbred fuckers. Hello, babies. Hello. How are you? Hello. They're going to follow me. Yeah, I heard you. See ya. I know. So here's the story. You can't get through. Neither can that jogger ahead of me. So I'm going to have to go a couple of streets down and then cut off to the left. He's a very nice construction guy there. Had a bit of a chat about it. He doesn't know the area. But I don't want to walk all the way down to Corroy Creek Road. So there may be another way for me to do it. Hello. But that adds to the steps and adds to the journey. So, not looking forward to that. But I suppose that's part of it. So it'll add about 1 kilometre to the trip. Fun. So I think there is a road I can go off to the left and avoid things, but there might not be. It'd suck if I had to go all the way to Corroy Creek Road. Now this is a dead end street, I think. So I can't use this one to go left. I'm actually going to check Google Maps, just let me... Now I'm going this way. Because there's a way that's not any longer this way. And there may be a way for me to cut through. Or maybe not, but either way, I'll be making progress towards where I need to be through this new industrial area. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, made it to Mickey D's, the Scottish restaurant, McDonald's. So I'm going to take a break there and take a leak, and then take the detour and get to Newport. I've decided I'm not going to try to do North Williamstown station. I'm going to take a break and then just punch through. Okay, let's get this shit done. I'm back on Corduroy Creek Road. I've got to go down to the left a bit and then cut around. There's where we are on the map, and we have to get to, let's see if it's on here. We have to get to there. So I'm going to have to go around, but we'll get there. One of the local parks and the playgrounds. I'm kind of consoling myself with the knowledge that once I finish this walk, everything's going to be easier. It's going to be shorter all the way to Naarm. This is the Everest of this walk, and I'm feeling a little over it. Not particularly sore, but just I want to be home drinking coffee, that kind of feel. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Well, those little A-liner caravans, they're 1970s style, and you can barely stand up in them, but people love them. That one's got a wheel lock on it that I think the owner put on. Kind of cool. Oh, nice cottage. I like that one. Little old cottages, love them. Much prefer them to modern houses, like mine. Holistic remedial bodywork, I may need that. So here we are at a park. The road takes a big curve. We're going to follow the curve past Williamstown Bone Orchard, the cemetery, and then up toward Railway Road that leads to Newport. Shut up. There's a cemetery. Williamstown Cemetery. Just saw a roadkill possum. It's a pity. I like possums. Second last street. Coming up on the level crossing. And then we turn right and just continue on to Newport. And here we are at the track again. And now a right hand turn and down along here. Sorry. According to the sign, we're now 1.1 kilometres from Newport station. Cool. Haven't made it yet, but I will. I think to celebrate that I've got to stop for a drink. Okay. Hydrated a bit. Some nice houses over the other side there too. Little garden with red hot pokers in the back. Cool. Almost there, but bus replacements. Let's do it. The last tiny bit. Guess what? We are at Newport station, but there's a bus replacement for the trains. I made it. How do I feel? Exhausted. 12,000 steps so far. But you gotta love the mural along here. As you go to the station. Buses pull up just there.
Where you wanna go?
Seaholme.
Seaholme, yeah.
Okay, cool, thank you. So the replacement bus is just here. Like, subscribe, become a patron at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. I'll see you on the next bit.